Hi, class. I know that there are people that are unsure, have anxiety about how to search in the university library. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of what you would need to do to be successful for week two's assignment, the Organizing Ideas worksheet. So the first thing I would do is wherever you are on eCampus, click on the library tab up top here in the black bar, white writing, and it'll bring you to this page. And once you're at this page, you want to follow it to the university library itself. Okay, so once I'm in the university library, I'm going to be searching the library, which is done in this section. To do a just general topic search, remember you picked your narrowed topic last week from that list that was on the worksheet for week one's assignment. So what I would do is I would enter your search term. I would just put what your narrowed topic is and perhaps even your broad topic too, because that together those two things will help get you in the direction. So for instance, say I pick children and sports. There's a lot of different things we could talk about with children in sports. If I put psychology in there, it narrows it at least a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to write children in sports. That's my narrowed topic. I'm going to even put my broad topic in there of psychology. Full text, I want to be able to read the full article that comes out, so that's clicked. And I also want to click peer review because peer review means that other experts in the field feel like the article is worthy of being published. They've reviewed it and checked off on its methodology, so I'm going to click that. Okay, and then I'm going to click search. Okay, so it takes a few seconds, and then you're going to get a big list of articles that it pulled up. Okay, so one thing I noticed when I first pulled this up is that I'm going to have to skim through a lot of these. Okay, there's 79,000. Obviously, I can't skim through all of those results, but I want to narrow this down because the first result, the date of publication, as you can see here, is 2008. That's kind of a long time ago. So if you scroll down, you can limit the search to one of these, or you can put in the early end and late end date, but I'm just going to make it easy myself and just search the last 5 years, and that narrowed down my searches. I'm not going to look at all 23,000, but at least that's a little bit better. Okay, so I have to, in this process, it's sort of like chicken in the egg. I want to be thinking about what direction I'm going to take this essay in, and maybe I don't really know what direction I want to take my children in sports essay in yet. Maybe doing research will help me with that. So I am going to kind of look, and if you already know what direction, then you're going to have to skim through the titles and the descriptions to see things that match with what direction you're taking. You don't want just some random facts about children and sports and psychology that have nothing to do with your focus. Okay, so I'm not sure what my focus is yet. So I'm going to look that first one, quiet eye training. I'm not really sure what that is, and I don't think that's the direction I want to go. So I'm going to look at number 2, modeling relationships between physical fitness, executive functioning, and academic achievement in primary school children. I think executive functioning has to do with, and again, if I didn't know that, I could Google this, but I'm pretty sure executive functioning has to do with decision making, like a child being able to make it, or an adult being able to make decisions on their own. So that sounds kind of interesting to me, how physical fitness might be building this possibility of children making purposefully good decisions and how that ties into academic achievement. That article looks great to me. So I'm going to say that this is one that I think is worthy of investigation, and I can certainly use it as one of my articles for week two's assignment. So if I pull up week two's assignment, the information that I want from my articles, and again, you need to have 2 for this assignment. Okay, the first thing I need is the author's names. Now, there's a lot of them here, okay, but they're not all listed. When I click on full text, I'm going to see everything, but just so you know, that information is also here. I clicked on more. So I could cut and paste. This is kind of hard to cut and paste because it's going to have a link on it. So when I want to do that, I copy and paste it into my notepad. I don't know, or sometimes it's WordPad. If I cut it and paste it into that, those names of the authors, then I can cut and paste it without, it doesn't have the formatting anymore. I can now cut and paste that. Anyway, don't worry about that too much if that doesn't make sense, but that's what I would do. I cut and paste it into Notepad to remove the hyperlinks, and then cut it and paste it into the assignment. Okay, article title. Well, article title is here. Again, I'd probably get rid of the hyperlink by cutting and pasting it into Notepad again. Okay. Date, written, or published. Okay, it has the date right here. Journal, publication, or title. Here's the journal publication. Psychology of Sport and Exercise. So you know journal titles are italicized and properly capitalized like a title. So when I cut and paste this in, I would capitalize the S for sport, capitalize the E for exercise, and italicize the whole thing. Put it in italics. Okay, issue number or volume number, right here. Page numbers, well, I don't think we really need to know that. Database name, I'm not seeing anything here. When I pull it up, we'll see if it has a database. URL or DOI, okay, the web address or DOI. Let's see what it does when we pull it up. Okay, so here's the article pulled up. Okay, you could put the pages in here. They do have that if you want to be complete. Okay, and then you can look right here. There is a web address with this DOI. I would just copy and paste that in. A DOI number, usually it's a digital object identifier. It usually doesn't, it's not usually part of a web address, but that's okay. Because we can do a web address, I'd cut and paste that in. I'd keep the formatting because a hyperlink would be good in this case to be able to find. Database name. Okay, now this says it comes from the Science Direct Freedom Collection. So you could think of this, sometimes see how it says Science Direct up here? That's really, it's searching. This search I did came up with, it looked through the Science Direct, okay? So I could use that as my database name, but the truth is that the goal is to have enough information so that you could find the article again and that you could complete a APA reference citation. And you don't really always need to have the database name in if you have both the article title, the journal title, and the authors and the date. Okay, you can find it that way too. But if you want to have cover all your bases, there's the Science Direct. Okay, so the last thing is I have to provide a 3 or 4 sentence description of how the article relates to my topic of research. Okay, that doesn't mean that I can just copy and paste these highlights. I can't just copy and paste in the, if we went back to the, let's see, I can't just copy and paste the objectives. I have to at least skim through the introduction of the article. And here, let's look at that and I'll show you how you can do that. Okay, it's going to take a second pulling up the whole article. Okay, now usually an article starts with an abstract. That's like a little encapsulation of it's like a quick summary of it. So I could read through this and then in my own words, in 3 or 4 sentences, explain what the study is about and what the study found. Okay. Later, if I decide to use this article to find quotes or evidence to help me, I want to skim through to find those things within the body of the article to help me. Okay, but for these purposes, I would just read through the abstract and make sure it's on par with what you want to look at, and then you can write your 3 or 4 sentence description. Okay, so some of this takes some some judgment on your own. It takes a little bit of hunting and pecking to find things. Okay. Social cognitive correlates of physical activity among single mothers and young children. Okay. So again, I have to decide, is that the direction? Do I want to have physical activity have to do with single mothers and young children? Maybe yes, maybe no. But I want to scroll through. Now, once, say I decide, yes, I want to have something to do with executive functioning, like independent decision making, well then, if I pick that first article and I want to further narrow down my choices to just have to do with that title, with that, sorry, idea, I can redo my search, like narrow it even more. Okay, and again, you can see, look, here's another article that has to do with executive functioning, and I could use that one. So hopefully that helped. They're just a few little tips of how to use the library. You do have to take time, and look, oh, see, that narrowed it down even way more. But you do need to take the time to look through the titles and the little summaries and decide, is this really, does this article really have to do with the narrowed topic and the direction I want to take the narrowed topic for my essay? And because as we move into writing our thesis and making an outline, we're going to want to make sure that all of our facts and evidence and support is moving in one direction. So hopefully that made sense. Please contact me if you have any questions. Take care.